Warning: disturbing images and statements. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everyone, welcome back to Seeker's Field. Today I'm diving into one of the most eerie and haunting mysteries that's captivated people for decades, the story of the Sodder family. This saga is filled with tragedy, unanswered questions, and theories that make you wonder what really happened. Now people, it's worth mentioning that there are lots of stories and information that is yet to be proven as accurate. While doing my research, I've heard that one of their 10 children was abroad fighting in World War II and other things that I cannot confirm, so the information I will be going of is public knowledge. Now it's Christmas Eve in 1945, and we find ourselves in Fayette County, West Virginia. The Sodder family is buzzing with holiday cheer. George and Jennie Sodder had 10 children. They were a lively bunch, full of life and laughter, and they were excited to celebrate the holidays together. But as the night wore on, George and Jennie decided it was time for their younger children to go to bed. They tucked in their little ones, Marion, Janet, and the 3 youngest boys, Billy, Louis, and Solomon, while the older kids stayed up to enjoy the Christmas festivities. Little did they know this would be a night they would never forget for all the wrong reasons. Around 1 a.m. disaster struck. The Sodder home was suddenly engulfed in flames. George and Jennie woke up to the horrid realization that their house was on fire. Panic set in as they frantically searched for their missing children. George dashed toward the stairs, desperate to save them, but the flames were too fierce. They managed to escape with their 4 other children, but watched in horror as the inferno consumed their home. The fire department arrived, but it was too late. When the firefighters searched the rubble, they found no trace of the 5 missing children. It was a devastating loss, and the couple was left shattered and confused. In the days following the fire, investigators concluded that the 5 children had perished, but George and Jennie refused to accept this conclusion. They were haunted by the thought that something was off. Where were the bodies? Why hadn't they been found? Determined to uncover the truth, the Sodders started their own investigation. They discovered some peculiar things that made them question the official story. For starters, there were no remains, no bones, no ashes, nothing. This led them to believe their children might still be alive. In the months that followed, rumors began to circulate. People claimed they had seen the Sodder children alive. One witness reported seeing them in a car with a couple who looked suspicious. Another claimed to have spotted them at a diner, laughing and playing. With each sighting, George and Jennie's hope grew, and they couldn't help but wonder if their children had been kidnapped. Adding to the mystery, they received an anonymous phone call shortly after the fire. The caller claimed to know what had happened to their children, but hung up before revealing any details. Can you imagine the anxiety and confusion the Sodders felt? It was like living in a real-life nightmare. As they continued to dig deeper, George and Jennie began to suspect that their children had been kidnapped. They believed that the Sicilian mafia family might have taken them, possibly as revenge on George for his outspoken views against organized crime in their community. In a bold move, George and Jennie decided to put up a billboard along the highway, featuring pictures of their 5 missing children and offering a reward for any information. They were determined to keep their story alive and wouldn't stop until they found answers. Now, let's talk about some of the theories that have emerged over the years. There are several camps of thought regarding what happened to the Sodder children. Some people believe the tragic fire did claim the children, but the lack of remains remains a puzzling point. Others argue that the children were indeed kidnapped, perhaps by the Sicilian mafia, based on the sightings and the mysterious phone call. Additionally, some conspiracy theorists have suggested that the fire was deliberately set to cover up the kidnapping. Could there have been a larger plot at play? This has led to endless speculation and debate among true crime enthusiasts till this day. As the years rolled on, George and Jennie never gave up hope. They consulted psychics and mediums, eager for any information that might lead them to their children. In 1952, they received a letter stating that their children were being held in a nearby town, but when they followed up, it led to a dead end. The couple continued to maintain the rooms of their missing children, leaving the lights on as a symbol of hope that they would one day return. They even erected a new billboard in 1968, displaying a photo of how the children would have looked as teenagers. Can you imagine the strength it took to keep that hope alive for so many years? Sadly, George passed away in 1969 and Jennie followed in 1989, but their quest for answers did not end with them. The mystery surrounding the Sodder children remains unsolved to this day, leaving many questions lingering in the air. The story has cemented its place in American folklore, inspiring numerous articles, books, and discussions about the fate of the Sodder children. So what do you think happened to the Sodder children? Were they victims of a tragic accident, or did they fall into the hands of a sinister plot? Now, as mentioned, there are many conspiracies and stories out there regarding what took place on that tragic day. The most important thing to remember is that innocent lives were lost. Thank you for watching Seekers Field. Believe it or not, it takes a lot of time and effort to make these videos, so your support is much appreciated. If you have any case suggestions, please share them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. I appreciate your support.